Hello, sir.
Hey, what's shaking, man?
Nothing.
Yeah.
Good day?
Yeah, it was alright.
Alright.
Good day is riding around in the car all day.
I had a lot of driving.
Yeah, up in Philly today.
Well, we are happy to drive on the commute.
Mm-hmm. Sure we are.
So today, really exciting news.
I saw this.
Did you see this?
I did.
The NASA announced that they found another Earth-sized planet that has a very good chance of being exactly like Earth. The astronomers have never found an Earth-sized planet that could boast liquid water until now. That was always the problem. I'm going to do a lot of reading here. I just printed the story up to because there's so much. The Kepler Space Telescope, this is coming from USA Today, has detected a faraway planet almost exactly the size of Earth and close enough to its star to be in the so-called habitable or Goldilocks zone, where conditions aren't too hot or cold for liquid water, essential for life to persist. Many of the planets spotted outside our solar system sport thick layers of gas, but the new planet could very well be formed of rock. In that case, a planet with a family resemblance to our own, orbiting a star 500 light years away.
That's the bad news.
But I think it's cool that they can even see this shit that far away.
Yeah, that you can tell that
500 light years away.
I mean, they can't tell for 100% sure, or, you know, they can't tell that it actually has liquid water on the surface. It's nothing like that.
They would need better telescopes for that.
Yeah, you're not going to see, like, a high-definition picture of it.
They said the planet was detected by the faint dimming of its star as the planet blocks some of the light. Compared to the Earth, the new planet is only 10% bigger in diameter, a size difference that isn't bad. They said it's too little to quibble about to say, oh, well, that can't be like Earth. Scientists don't know what this Earth-sized world is made of, but they say it's highly likely to be rocky, given planetary theory and the traits of other planets outside our solar system.
Right. That
would make it the odd planet out compared to other similarly placed planets, which are mostly huge balls of gas. The planet is known as Kepler 186f. And I couldn't give it a more glamorous name than that.
Well, when you're looking at so many.
Well, I mean, I understand the reason behind it, but when you find something cool like this, let's call it, you know, Earth 2 or something, or Heaven Star, or just give it some cool ass name. Have a contest where people get to name the shit.
Maybe they will. Maybe to get more people looking up.
Oh yeah, this is definitely going to grab attention of a lot of people. I was talking to people about, even people who normally don't care about this stuff, was like, wow, really? That's pretty cool. The planet occupies the outer, chillier edge of the zone around a faint, cool star. If the planet was a little bit further from its star, any water on it would freeze. If it were closer, it would all boil away. So it's the right distance away from the star, just like we are, to have water on it. You know, as opposed to all our other planets, you know, don't.
Yeah, but I guess unlike our sun, it's a red dwarf.
Yeah, and they said it's a dimmer star, but the reason there's still hope to be water or life on it is they said it has these fierce sunbursts. You know, just so it would still heat it up. It's just not constant, like ours is. They said it's nicely positioned to harbor liquid water, assuming it's an atmosphere to keep its surface toasty, and it collected water earlier in life. And it would be like living in San Francisco on a cold day, is how they explained the temperature up there. I don't know why they just couldn't say 65 degrees or, you know, whatever. These are scientists, and that's how they tell you temperature. Like San Francisco on a cool day. They don't consider it Earth's twin, they consider it more of Earth's cousin. That's because it circles a feeble type of star known as an M dwarf, which we just said. It's barely visible from Earth with powerful binoculars. So it's far enough where I guess you could check it out with binoculars.
Yeah, the star.
You know, that's pretty cool. The dwarfs make up for dimness with ferocity, unleashing massive radiation spikes that could make it difficult for any life to survive. So, they said anyone that's there would need to wear a hard hat. Ha ha ha, they're getting silly now. The radiation field would be pretty intense. If there is life there, it would be quite different than ours. There's other reasons why it may not have life, or only microscopic life. planet orbiting a dwarf is vulnerable to losing its water.
Right.
The planet's perch is cooler part of the habitable zone. Means to accommodate liquid water, it would have to have a very thick, warming atmosphere of a substance such as carbon dioxide. But even if the temperature is right for life, we don't know of any complex life, plants or animals, that can survive such toxic levels of carbon monoxide. So the new planets say it could have overcome an early water loss, and they say it's too early to know whether the planet needs a super thick atmosphere, but they agree with other scientists they won't know for a long time, if ever, if it's home to life. The reason for that is, to go any further, they would have to build a new instrument. There's no instrument to detect that. And building one would take many billions of dollars that are more likely to be spent on looking at stars closer to our solar system. It would be the cost of a new telescope, they're saying, though, to reveal more details about the planet would be worthwhile, even if just to collect more data.
Well, also, too, I mean, if you think about it, that planet might not be there anymore.
Yeah.
It's 500 light years away.
Yeah, really. it could have been destroyed. It could have smashed into pieces. There goes your billions of dollars. Get your billions back, America.
Stop building telescopes.
But it tells our solar system and our universe are very good at producing other Earth-sized planets. So even if this one is a bust, we know it is capable, that there could be plenty more out there.
Yeah, and the theory of how planets formed holds up too.
Sure.
That same process is the same no matter where you go.
And so just the idea that it's out there brings up many questions again. Are we alone in the universe? It really gets you thinking about it. But I say build it, man. I say build it, check it out. That would be cool.
Build this telescope directed at that.
And then you could use it for any other thing you might find in the meantime. So that is that. I saw that. I got real excited.
Yeah, that was amazing stuff.
I was like, wow, man.
I saw that as we got back in. I saw that story pop up.
I was on the toilet when I read it.
Yeah. That's the best place to get good news like that.
You kidding? Good thing I was on the toilet because I almost pooped my pants.
Yeah, I shit myself. And I was right in there.
Thank God.
It's perfect.
So that is that. What else do we have here? Here's a good one. This girl lives in New York, went on vacation for a couple days with some of her friends. Now in New York, you have to, like Tuesdays you can only park on the right side of the street, and Thursdays you can only park on the left side of the street because of street sweepers.
Right.
And so the girl's gonna be away for a while, so she asked her mother, who was watching her pets for her while she was gone, if she could move her car and her friend's cars for her. It's 3 cars total. Right. She said, yeah, no problem. She gets the keys. And they get home and they said, oh, you moved the cars? She said, yeah. So they went to get their cars and I guess park them back in front of their house or whatever. And the one girl couldn't find her car. And they said, you didn't move her car, it got towed. She said, no, I moved it. She said, it's the green Honda right there. She pointed to the car. And the girl said, well, that's not my car. She's like, well, that's the car I moved. And here it ends up that Hondas, the keys can be used for many cars. Your key is not unique to your car. And it was the same make and model. Let her in, let her drive it, move it. So the girls go to call the cops just to let them know, like, hey, someone might be, looking for their car. This is why. Cops didn't believe them. The cops wouldn't even look into it. They were like, no, they're like, that can't happen. And they're like, no, it did. We have the key. They're like, and it's not our car, but we didn't steal it. We're just letting you know what happened. And they didn't believe it. They just wouldn't look into it. And then people did report a car being stolen. And when it came up, they said, oh, they were right. Oops. So the people did get their car back. But the girl whose car didn't get moved, she had to pay to get it out of the towing area. They towed her away.
Oh, that's weird.
But that's not good. So if you have and the car, they said was made in the mid-90s. So Honda says, oh, well, that's not a problem anymore. We fixed that.
Wow. Did that.
But if you had, yeah, I'm sure they said that. And I'm sure they knew about this problem beforehand. Why would you even do something like that?
Yeah.
That's stupid. Because you figure, oh, this will never happen. People will never know. But it happens. So if you have a older Honda You probably can't even get it rekeyed, right? Just keep an eye on your car.
Right.
Boot your car if you're not going to be in it.
I guess maybe if you didn't use the key, if you just used the remote would be on a different frequency.
Yeah.
That would be different.
If they had a remote for a car that old.
Yeah, I guess if it was that old.
Yeah, and if some did,
what year
then,
was it?
They said mid-90s.
Oh, okay.
I know none of my mid-90s cars had them. You had to be fancy, rich car.
Yeah, that would be...
Have a beeper then.
Yep. New fandangled technology.
I used the key to get in.
Yep.
I had to roll down my windows. My kid cracks up about that.
Rolling
I tell
down
her how
the
we said
windows.
roll down the windows.
Yeah, there was that video going around recently with like they gave the kids like the Walkman.
Yeah, I posted that on the
Did you see that?
Commute Facebook page.
Yeah.
That was pretty silly. They didn't have a clue what, and some of them were teenagers.
Yeah.
But I guess they were the CD life.
Yeah, I mean,
you know?
Even a teenager now is what, 2000.
What do you think if you had a teenager at this point? You would have cassettes. You would have told them about like something. And they just seemed oblivious that they knew what a cassette was. They handed them a cassette. They were like, "What's this?"
Yeah, but I mean, I guess it's even possible that no, it's not possible. They would have that had that a teenager would have had to have dealt with that in some form.
Yeah, I mean, my kid even knows about them because I took a very long time to switch over to CDs.
Oh yeah, I did too. I didn't.
Well, because I had such a huge cassette collection. I was just screwed. I'm going to keep going with cassettes. I had a CD player. I had a couple CDs, but cassettes were cheaper.
Yeah.
And and then I'm just throwing my collection away. The only reason I went over was he just stopped making cassettes.
Yeah.
I went in the store one day. I was like, "Where's your cassette section?" And they're like, "What year did you come from?"
I'm looking for tapes. Any tapes you got? Yep, they went from regular shelves, they went to the bargain bin, and then they went away. Yeah.
And you got to think about that, because let's say, before, when you wanted someone to roll down your window, you gave them the universal sign for roll down your window. If you were to do that to a teenager now driving, they'd be like, what are you saying to me? I think that guy's giving me a gesture. Let's beat him up. Let's shoot him in the face.
Yeah.
Tell me to crank something. Crank you.
Careful, you're giving the gesture.
Yeah, see, a bunch of people bust out when you jumped. Good thing is they all look old enough to know what that means.
Right.
We should try that. We should roll up next to a young guy. I can't tell if this girl's young or not. And I want to give her the roll down the window gesture. Might give me the finger. That car looks like it still has.
Roll up windows. You got to be able to still get a car with roll up and down windows, right?
Wait, I don't know. I mean, at one point you could get either one.
Yeah, like you could pick it. It was an option.
But do you think that's still an option now? Because
I don't know. It's got to be on like trucks and stuff.
It's just something extra that they have to do. You mean like pickup trucks?
Yeah, like a pickup. Pickup's got to have that as an option. Come on, like a farm truck and stuff.
I don't know.
Hey, those big fucking Chevy farm trucks.
Yeah, but they're all hoity-toity now too. These farmers driving around BMW pickup trucks.
No,
because government pays for them.
I'm jealous of the farm life.
Goddamn farmers. Wish I was a farmer.
I would like to do the farming job, but I wouldn't. That would be a terribly difficult life.
Yeah, no.
Especially now. I mean,
there's no days off.
Yeah.
You're sick. You got to do it.
It's been really glamorized.
Some things you can't sleep in for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Up at the crack of dawn, touching animal tits. Who wants to do that?
No, I guess you don't even do that anymore unless you're a small farm.
No, yeah, they hook them up to a machine.
Yep.
That always grosses me out. You go to these places and they're like, "Hey, you want to milk a cow?" Like a school trip or something. Mm-hmm. No, I don't. That's its tit. I don't want to touch cow tit.
What's even worse is that like Dutch Wonderland, they've got that like the wooden cow or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, how many kids have messed with that thing? Like that's even worse than a real cow.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I'd rather touch a real cow tit than a fake cow tit.
Than the bacteria.
cow tit implants,
right.
You know, butter implants.
The rubber gloves with.
Yeah, no. And I know they're like, oh, it's not sexual. You have to get the milk. No, I get it, but it's still the cow's tit.
Right.
I'm not touching it. I'm not gonna jerk off the bull either. You know, like.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's bull riding. That's what it is.
Bull riding is jerking off the cow.
Yeah, they put the strap on the back, and that's what
they wrap it around. Yeah, they tie it really tight.
And that's what gets them going.
I could probably do that. I could probably strap something around it. I'm not going to touch it.
Well, you got to give it a little tug to get it started, and then they open the gate.
Yeah, I guess so, huh?
That's how it works.
Yeah, see, I'm not doing that. I'll ride the bull.
Yeah.
I always wanted to do that. You know, they have the bull riding thing at the state fair.
At the bar, yeah.
I wanted to do that so bad. It's what is it? I think it's $10 to do it, and if you stay on for 8 seconds, you get $200.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm like I can do 8 seconds, but I see myself getting hurt. I either see me breaking my nose, like flying forward on the goddamn thing, or getting flown off, and you know they have tons of cushion around. I mean, you're gonna fall, but I'll fall funny and break something, or that's
elbow,
that's
wrist,
my luck. Yeah,
something.
Yeah, so I don't do it. I want to so bad.
That'd be fun. That'd be interesting to try. Anyway, 8 seconds is gonna seem like a long ass time when you're on there. I'll tell you what.
Oh yeah.
Like 8 seconds, nothing.
I can do that
until that thing starts flying.
And I imagine they get it going like a real bull, you know.
Yeah.
And those guys can't stay on for 8 seconds. They do it for a living.
Yeah.
You know. My kid did pretty good though on it. They have to do like a kiddie version of it. You know, they don't buck you like that.
Right.
But a lot of the kids were falling off, couldn't do it. She hung. She was all professional. She had her arm on the hair. She was like, do it. That's a good time. State fair.
Yeah.
Do you hit that every year?
Not every year.
Oh man,
I've hit it once.
Didn't like it?
No, it was fine.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, we went because we've only been here 2 years, but 2 years ago we went twice. Last year we went 3 times.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the one time we just went to go see a show,
and
that was pretty much the whole night.
Yeah.
But we went the first night, and for whatever reason, they have like this big candy tent. You can go buy a bunch, and like any candy that was ever made, you can find it there. And the guy was like, "You guys coming back to the fair another day?" I was like, "Yeah, more than likely." He's like, "Oh, here," and he peels off 8 tickets for us to get into the fair free.
Oh, cool.
So, and then the good part is when we went the next day, the line was all the way down the field, the parking lot, but they have the quick entrance if you already have your ticket.
Oh.
And we just walked right in.
Nice.
I said, "Thank you, Candyman."
Yeah, there's something at like Hardee's or something every year where you go in there and you can get like tickets or something.
Well, you can get them online and print them up.
Well, this is like they're like discounted in some way. I don't remember what the deal is, but that was the thing before we went. We had to like go to Hardee's to get these tickets or something.
Oh.
I don't remember.
I wouldn't go back either if I had to go to Hardee's. No offense to Hardee's, but it's not my thing.
Well, sort of.
No
offense.
Yeah, it was.
That was not the intention. Just your free.
I will eat there if there's nothing else around to eat.
So it's entertaining if there's nothing else.
Yeah.
To eat.
Yeah.
Or watch.
I back at you.
We do get your comments.
So let's do this day in history.
Oh, yeah.
April 17th, 1964. Ford Mustang debuts at the World's Fair.
Yeah.
64 Fair. Wow. That was the one in New York, right?
Sounds right.
World's Fair? Yeah. They had a cool thing. I saw this documentary one time about the World's Fair when it was there. And there was this guy there. There's a guy there, and he was making these hot dogs, and he was using this magic machine to cook hot dogs in just a minute. You know, you get the raw hot dog and pop it in, and 60 seconds later, your hot dog is cooked.
Microwave?
And it was a microwave that he was demonstrating. But he was selling these hot dogs for $1 a piece in 1964. And people, he couldn't sell them quick enough. People were standing there with their dollars, like, oh, because this hot dog was cooked with magic.
Yeah.
You know, this new machine, I have to have one of those. And this guy just made bank. You know, he had one of the first microwaves and just went around cooking hot dogs and selling them for $1 a piece.
It's one of the first time travelers.
Yeah, essentially making $1 a minute. Yeah, right?
Went back with his microwave.
He was smart. You know, he didn't go too far back, like to the 20s with it. It was around the time they were going to make them.
Disguise it up a little bit.
Be smart with your time travel.
Yeah. Got to plan these things out.
April 17th, 1961, the Bay of Pigs invasion begins.
Yeah.
1,200 Cuban exiles armed with American weapons. Essentially, landing craft in the U.S.
Yeah, they took all that, landed on the beach there, but they were ready for them basically. And
yeah.
Took control of that situation almost immediately, like hit and run attacks and stuff. Killed about 100 of them, and they took all the rest prisoner.
Wow, 1,100 captured.
Yep.
I think they want to come with more people than that.
Well, that's all they could muster. I mean, they couldn't. Those were the Cuban exiles that were willing to go back,
right?
And fight and make that landing, but it's
suckers.
Yep.
1815, volcanic eruption of Tambora in Indonesia killed 80,000 people.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was around like 10,000 from like the direct, explosion itself, but then it basically blotted out the sun. I mean, there was like nothing. It killed all the crops and everything. So they think a total of like 80,000 people died from that.
From starvation and disease.
Yep.
Wow, it affected the temperature.
Yeah, global temperature was affected. They think that that's why there was like snow and frost and stuff in New England that year in June and July.
Wow. Wow.
Because of that eruption.
You think about it, all through history when there's these mass, I don't know what you say, murder, mass killings or whatever, just how many people would be in the planet today if that stuff didn't happen? You know? And you're talking millions over time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because each generation is exponential in genetics. I mean, I forget how many you have to go. You don't have to go that far back to like be pretty much everybody you know is related to you in one form or another.
And we just keep multiplying faster and faster and faster. I forget what it is. Like we're now at 7 billion, and I forget the time frame, but so many years ago we were at 6 billion, and it was so much time further back before that to get to 5 billion.
Right.
So we'll be at 8 billion before you know it.
Trying to stack them all.
Then again, it may not be as bad. I think it's going to slow down because people aren't having as many kids these days. I
don't know.
I mean, think about it. You have 2 kids, just 2 of you. So you just kept the playing field even, right? 2 people, you turned into 2 kids, so you just kept that generation the same.
But if you look at it from, my family though, I was an only child and now I have 2.
True.
Nancy had a sister, so she had 2, and that's just 2, but still.
I mean, if you look at it on a family scale, yeah. But you still have to add yourself. You still have to add yourself to that equation. You're essentially half a person then. We only have 1. I'm trying to think. I don't know that many people that have more than 2 kids, like personally.
Yeah, but I mean, there's people we know that have real big families and stuff. I mean, there's a friend of Nancy's that lives right around the corner. I mean, they've got 3 kids, but then I think her husband, he comes from a really big family, and you've got like split families too. You got families, that they got divorced and then they had another family and then they've got kids and those go on.
So they're fucking up the curve.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's a hard number to judge, but obviously it's exponential
growing.
gain.
Yeah, exactly. Quit having kids, people.
Yeah.
Get your billion back. And so this day, 1790, Benjamin Franklin died.
Yeah.
Good old Benjamin. Mm-hmm. How we miss you. He was a cool guy. I would have liked to hung out with Benjamin Franklin.
Yeah.
You hear stories about him.
He'd be constantly trying to give you a piece of string.
Yeah, hold this for me. Yeah, sure. Dick. Hey, he was a partier, man. He drank all the time.
He was a big brewer, right?
He loved the whores. He was constantly getting the whores, drinking and whoring it up.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking doing cool shit when he was working. Yeah,
Inventing shit in his garage.
How do you know how old he was when he died?
No, I don't. I didn't see any of that.
Either way, good life.
Yeah.
Imagine it wasn't too old. Seemed like no one lived too long back then.
No, not bad.
I saw another cool one today, this day, and I forget the year, but Martin Luther was excommunicated from the Roman Catholic Church.
Oh, yeah? That's a good one.
So the other day we were talking about how chocolate kills dogs.
Right.
And we were wondering about, what exactly is it?
Oh, did you look into all that?
I looked into it.
Okay.
And chocolate has something in it called theobromine.
Okay.
And what it is, it's a mild stimulant, harmless to humans. Humans would have to eat 50 kilograms of milk chocolate for it to affect you in any way. However, and this I didn't know, it affects dogs and cats. So it's poisonous to both dogs and cats. Whereas we would have to have 50 kilograms, only 50 grams of dark chocolate is poisonous to an animal.
Huh.
50 grams of it would kill a cat or a dog the size of a cat. And anything bigger, of course, would take more, but would still make them really sick. And then once in their system, they would need less the next time to get sick or die.
Yeah.
But it also has in it, chocolate also has tryptophan, which is the chemical in turkey that'll kill dogs. So it's like chocolate's a double dose.
Double death.
There's two poisons in there. So yeah, that is what is in chocolate that kills them.
Okay.
Then I also read when I was on this site checking it out, it was all different stuff and why this kind of food causes this.
Do you remember what site it was?
I do not. I can pull it back up though.
Link it up if you find
like
it.
one thing was link it on the page. 10 to 15 grams of nutmeg can cause nausea. This is in humans. Nausea, vomiting, fast heart rate, euphoria, and hallucinations. Nutmeg. Now I have heard of people smoking nutmeg.
Yeah, that's true.
To get high, and I never knew if urban legend or whatever, just trying to get people to smoke nutmeg and then laughing at them. But apparently, it must have some kind of truth to it.
It does have some kind of effect, huh?
And if you have that much nutmeg and you have any of these symptoms, the side effects last for days after you take it.
Man.
So you could be hallucinating for 3 days.
Because of nutmeg.
Now the hallucinations, could be good or bad, depending on what kind you're having. Euphoria, give me 3 days of euphoria.
Yeah.
I'll I'll be a nutmegaholic.
That's a long weekend, I mean.
Right? Let's get some nutmeg tonight. Let's start it up. But I don't know if I'd want the vomiting or the fast heart rate for 3 days, and that's my luck. That's what I would get.
Yeah, that's all you get.
My hallucinations would be demons and devils, and stuff like that. The reason nutmeg does that, there's something in it called myristicin.
Okay.
And that is the equivalent. What it is, it's pretty much does to you what the drug ecstasy does to you. It's pretty much the same exact thing as ecstasy. That is 13% of the makeup of nutmeg. So it's a pretty good, percentage of it. Now, all of these side effects, they said, have never been tested on humans. they've only tested them on rats.
Oh, okay.
But rats and humans have similar reactions to
Yeah, I mean, that's why they test
drugs.
them.
Now, the FDA never tested on humans. You know, there's humans that
I've tested
have
on
tested
humans.
it themselves. I give myself to science. Come to me, nutmeg. Like, how would you smoke nutmeg?
I have no idea.
Grind it up.
Or just take the powder and lace it into the cigarette or something, I guess. I don't know.
Long weekend.
It was a long weekend. Full of vomiting.
Oh, you have the same thing about the...
Yeah, that's why I said that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So there's that. We're a story down.
It's got a man, dude.
Real quick note. Louisiana, North Carolina, Oklahoma, and Kansas. Oral sex is illegal in all 4 of those states. Completely illegal. However, necrophilia isn't.
That's fine.
They don't want you having oral sex, but you can bang the dead. And I wasn't surprised to see any of those states on that list. Again, no offense, you're fun states.
It's just your laws. Your little laws.
But one of the states, I think it was Louisiana, is changing the law.
Oh, yeah?
They're not making necrophilia illegal. They're making blowjobs legal.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So, slow down. You can still have sex with the dead. Yeah, it's...
Right.
Didn't mean to scare any necrophiliacs out there.
No, I heard on the radio they're changing the law in Delaware, too. Like, supposedly there's no law where, like, if a dog bites a person, that they can legally take the dog away for any reason.
Oh, really?
Yeah, right now there's no law for that in Delaware.
Wow.
So they're trying to make one.
Yeah.
So, a dog bites a person.
I kind of thought that was everywhere. You know?
Yeah, you just kind of assume that, but...
I think if a dog bites a kid, that kid's parents should be allowed to kill that dog.
Yeah, I don't know.
Depending on the situation. If the kid was, antagonizing the dog, the kid deserved to get bit.
Right.
Even if it was my kid. If I tell her, always ask somebody if you can pet their dog. Even if they look cute. Cute ones are the ones, your enemy always comes to you dressed like your friend or whatever the saying is. The bad dog always comes all cutie pie.
With the Disney eyes and rips your throat out.
It was like one time, I have this tiny little white dog, little Maltese, and super nice, never tries to harm anybody. This woman came up with her dog, and she's walking this other little dog, and the dogs are like trying to, sniff each other and get to, they're like pulling to get to each other, and she was like, oh, no. I said, it's okay. I said, I don't mind, if you don't mind. She says, well, I'm not worried about your dog. She says, I'm just worried about my dog. I said, it's fine. I said, but she's really nice. She never tries to bite anyone or anything. She loves all animals. She's like, okay. So she puts her dog down. As soon as she puts it down next to Bella, Bella went for the throat, man. She's like, she's like trying to murder this dog. Jeez. This old woman, I never saw an old woman move so fast. She went down and scooped her dog up, and she was like, it's okay, Poopsie, it's okay. And I was like, I'm sorry. I said, she never really, whatever. And she stormed off, walking away. It was great. I'm like, no, she's a gentle one. Go ahead. Was tore her dog's throat out. Oh, man.
Then she comes to you acting like you're the one that...
Yeah, right?
You train her to kill other small dogs.
A small dog. She tries to kill big dogs. This other people came over, they had a collie, and full-grown collie, and it came over to our yard, and the person was coming over to get the dog, and I had Bella outside, and same thing. She was like, she's like, I'm sorry, she's nice. I said, oh, yeah. I said, Bella doesn't really, care. So plus the dog being so big, don't worry about it. She's not gonna try to. Bella went after her. The dog went over to sniff her, and she tried to attack this big ass collie. And the collie just put her paw on Bella's back, like, oh. She's like, you're gonna stay right there.
Down there.
Like, because I thought that dog was gonna try to bite Bella, but she was like, not even worth my time.
You speck.
You're lucky I'm not hungry. Away with you, small dog.
Don't make me hurt you. I'll do it.
Going back to necrophilia.
Oh, we weren't done with that. Okay.
I had a thought. Do you think necrophilia has gone up with the popularity of zombies these days? Like no one would ever thought of it before, but now zombies are cool. And that's the closest thing to a zombie.
Right.
And people are sick in the head.
I would imagine the rate is probably about the same because that's
You're
a
either
special,
that way or you're not.
Yeah, that's a special thing.
I'm gonna look into that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're definitely right. Mm-hmm. You're wired that way. You're wired. You don't care if zombies are cool or not.
Yeah. I don't think that's gonna push you over the edge.
But I'm thinking maybe that would be a trigger. Like it's in the person's head, but it's buried somewhere, and then that would trigger it.
Yeah.
And they can brag to all their other friends. I had a zombie.
I did up those zombies.
See that zombie? I fucked it. So that's all I have with necrophilia.
Yeah, I don't know what the. I would imagine it's probably about the same. You know, at least rate wise.
But the fact that there's a place in America where it's legal.
Yeah.
Like, and you're just asking people to move down there, you know?
Mm-hmm. You gotta get that whole population center in one area.
And then I have to wonder, is it illegal to dig up a dead person?
Yeah.
Is it in those states?
Oh, I'm sure it is.
So it's illegal to dig one up, but you can fuck one?
It's gotta be. Well, I don't. And by it not being.
Well, yeah, they're not
legal,
promoting it.
Yeah, they're not saying.
Have commercials on TV or on the radio. Have you fucked your dead today?
I mean,
brought to you by Necrophilia Inc.
The morgue doesn't have just a bunch of asses sticking out the window.
They should. They can charge for it. It's legal.
I don't think it's that kind of thing.
But then you know the people in the morgue are having their way. That's a big thing anyway with a lot of these morticians.
It's probably just it's probably just a different charge because it's not, maybe they don't charge you with necrophilia, but maybe they charge you with, like, you know, defacing
abusing the
dead. Yeah, abusing a corpse, whatever else. You know, it's just a different charge. Right. It's just not called necrophilia there.
Well, they need to call it necrophilia.
Things. Yeah, they got to make those terms clear.
just people digging up in graveyards, digging up the dead and fucking them and leaving them in the hole.
Not even, and those are the rude ones. They don't even rebury them. They just fucking leave the hole open.
Fuck it and chuck it. You know?
Yeah.
Oh no, this one's been dead too long. They go around looking for the recent dates.
Yeah, they don't bury them like ass up. You know. That's just sticking out.
You just need a little spade to dig a hole down, you know, a couple inches deep.
That's probably a thing too. I'll bet you people do that. They dig a hole in the top of a grave and fuck just a grave. I'll bet people do that. I bet people do anything. People do any goddamn thing. I'll bet they do that.
Wow,
how about that?
That's really, I think that's more sick than having sex with the dead.
Yeah. And that came out of my mind.
Yeah, where did that come from, Larry?
I don't know.
But you see, you never would have thought of it, but we triggered it. That was sitting in your head. Yeah. Grave fucking has been in your head for 38 years.
Right. And now...
we triggered it.
I know. I'm all set now.
So I see your long weekend.
Full of nutmeg and grave fucking. Yeah.
Man, why not?
I didn't have any plans, and now I do.
And that would probably only be like public nudity charge, because I'm sure fucking a
hole in the
ground isn't illegal. You know?
I don't know.
I'm just trying to get you there. That's all.
And they caught there was some flasher up in Wilmington. They caught that guy today or something. Yeah.
Huh.
He showed up like the end of last summer. They lost track of him, and then some chick was jogging, I think in like Banning Park or something up there, and she took a picture of him. I don't know, as he was like running away, and that's.
Oh, he only likes the nice weather, you know. He's not. You don't want to flash in the wintertime.
Yeah.
His junk's gonna be all shriveled up.
That's what led him to that guy, so they caught him.
Well, in Portland, Oregon, there's a man who urinated in Mount Tabor reservoir.
I saw this.
Did you see that?
Yeah, and then they fucking dumped all the reservoir water.
38 million gallons of water.
They dumped that.
Yep. They said that's where they get all their drinking water from. And they're going to flush out 38 million gallons.
Yeah.
The security guard saw the guy on video doing this.
Right.
And right next to him, there's a sign that says, "Don't spit, throw, or toss things, anything into the reservoir."
Right.
And he's standing right next to it, pissing away. But, I mean, they have treatment plants.
You know what? At least, I'm sure at least 1 million gallons of that is raccoon piss.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it's a reservoir.
Right. And I'm sure people do throw shit into it. And I'm sure...
And at one point in time, 100% of that reservoir was piss from something.
Yeah.
Whatever it was piss. Dude, it's so diluted by that point.
They said it will take 4 to 6 days to completely empty all that out.
And then refill it.
They have no idea yet how much it's going to cost. And that's the other thing, the cost of it.
Yeah.
The taxpayers.
Because of, an ounce of piss.
And the Water Bureau chief, because they didn't catch the guy. They just, I guess, the footage wasn't that good or whatever.
Well, now there's going to be some manhunt or something.
They're looking for the reservoir pisser.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But the chief said he was standing straight right up against the rail because he had to get his, and I quote, little wee-wee right up against the bars. So he's trying to belittle this guy. They don't even know who he is. Yeah, and the guy's like, that was me.
Yeah.
That was me.
I don't have a little wee-wee. Yeah, that's it.
Screw you, I had a big dick.
Show you my wee-wee.
I'm pissing all the reservoirs. Go ahead, fill it up. I'm going to piss in it again.
Yeah. I'll be right back there. Don't you put barbed wire on my wee-wee hole.
I'm just going to piss in a cup and throw it over. Fuck you.
It's just insanity.
But yeah, he could have pissed in a cup, tossed it over. They would have just thought he was tossing soda or something over the edge. They would have done nothing about it.
Yeah, it was something like they value their customers too much or something.
Yep. Their safety, they will not put them at risk at all.
Yeah.
But I mean, this guy could have AIDS and it wouldn't matter.
No.
You know?
Yes.
Whoa.
Yeah, somebody fucking lost it up here.
Wow.
Actually, I probably should get in the other lane.
Yeah, so we can see it.
Well, that, but all these people are going to be coming on this road.
Oh, yeah.
Making a right here.
Wow. I imagine it's a little busier, too. Because everyone gets off on time today,
Yeah.
Because of the holiday coming up. No, it looks like it's moving pretty good.
That's not bad there. I don't know what the deal is. Alright, never mind then.
Screw it. It's probably between there and we probably...
That I don't understand. You know what that is? Salt Life.
Salt Life?
You see that shit? With like the skull and cross... Well, no, it's skull and cross fishing rods.
Oh, he likes
Salt
to go
Life.
in the ocean.
Yeah, I get that part.
And fish.
But I don't know if that was some kind of... Because I've seen that before, Salt Life on things.
So it's like a club?
I don't know. Like Ducks Unlimited.
If anyone knows what the skull and cross fishing rods are, with Salt Life.
I don't know. I've seen different symbols though too. I think it's just that Salt Life motto, whatever that goes with, whatever that represents. I don't know. I've seen it before, especially down here.
Maybe we should join. Maybe we should do a show with the Salt Life people.
No, I'd rather not. I don't really know the Salt Life people, but I know their clientele, and I just.
You don't want to.
No, I can't do it. I wouldn't mind going fishing.
No,
near them, like if they were 2 fishing parties down from me, that'd be all right.
But you don't want to fish next to them?
No. I wouldn't want to fish right next to them.
You don't want to disrupt their salt life?
I don't know. I just think their salt life is full of some kind of hooliganism that I just don't want to be involved in.
Hey, you're being awfully salty.
I am. I have a real problem with that. And
would you like a Salt Life application?
No, I don't want that. I don't want a Ducks Unlimited.
Yeah, I don't need to be Ducks Unlimited.
And I don't need a Sunoco sticker on my car. That's it. Those are the main things. That's
and I don't want a Calvin and Hobbes pissing on something sticker.
Yeah, Calvin pissing on anything is just, to me, that's blasphemy.
I
can't look at that. I don't. That's what I look for in traffic on our commute. I look for black license plates and Sunoco stickers. If I see either of those, I keep an eye on that vehicle because I know that at some point they're gonna want my lane, or they're gonna.
So the Sunoco sticker makes you an ass too.
Yes. Yeah. Definitely.
I wonder how that happened. I get the black license plate because they purchase.
Well, I think the Sunoco
additional thing.
I think the Sunoco sticker is like. They really like NASCAR because that's like the NASCAR fuel or whatever. But it's the people that get that sticker. I think they try to live the dream and like they think they're in that race at all times.
Oh.
So I have to keep an extra eye on them.
That's a good theory.
You know, they think other people are beating them if they're ahead of you in traffic, and I'm not. I'm not really racing you. I'm just trying to get home safely. That's all I really want.
Wow. So now I'm gonna have to start looking for the.
Just keep an eye out.
Sticker. Yeah, I'll point it out.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be the guy in the boat, pointing out icebergs and.
The other thing to do in traffic that I found, and I've done this for years, is when you're sitting at a red light, look at the faces that people make as they're turning. Everybody makes a distinctive turning face.
Is it the same face? Everyone makes
No. Everybody makes everybody has their own turning face. It's like, a fingerprint. Everybody's different in this respect, but they all have a turning face.
Even you have a turning face?
Yeah, everybody's got a turning face. I don't know what mine is.
I'm going to have to check it out. I'm going to have to watch an episode.
You're going to have to when I go around the turn, it's going to be that same face. Watch. I guarantee you it's there.
I'm going to do a montage of the same turn every episode.
Yeah. And link it up and set my face. I guarantee I'm making the same face.
That's great. That's fantastic. And I'll be able to catch it early in the episode. You're pulling out of something.
Yeah. I mean, pulling out of work or that one turn when I get on that side road.
Driver turn face montage.
Mm-hmm. It's there.
Wow, all these good things. Mm-hmm. Very observant in your ride.
I have to be. I mean, it's so boring. What do you do it anyway?
I look for people doing things.
Yeah. That's entertaining.
Eating. I've seen shaving. Mm-hmm. Obviously, the makeup and their hair. Mm-hmm. But I actually saw a guy one time. He was shaving with an electric razor. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking, now you got hair shavings all over you, your car.
Maybe it was a fancy one. Maybe it had that trap in there where it trapped all the...
I doubt that it works, though.
Yeah. I don't know.
I saw a woman one time. She was eating a salad while she was driving, right?
Like a salad.
She had a salad, yeah. But she like had it down, and she was like cutting salad and driving, and she would like drive so straight, and she'd like cut the salad. So I said to my wife, I was driving, and I parked next to this one. I'm sitting there watching her, right? We get to the light, and she was really chowing down at the light. Uh-huh. So we get the green light, we go, and she hits the gas, but she's still, sitting there with the salad. I said, watch this. And I made it like I cut over real sharp, like I was going to sideswipe her. She, salad everywhere, man.
What?
It was like a cartoon. She just tossed the salad and grabbed the steering wheel and just lettuce hanging in her hair, and just it was everywhere. Oh, it was so funny. So funny. I slammed on my horn and see ya. I went on. That was the best.
It's terrible.
That's fantastic. Yeah, that'll teach you shouldn't be driving and eating.
That's true.
That's
true.
Maybe if it's something you can hold in your hand and eat, but you shouldn't be using
like a corn dog or something.
Yeah, good corn dog. But not a
not a cutting.
Jesus Christ, salad.
Yeah, I've seen people they have like a laptop in front of them or a novel, like reading a novel.
I saw a woman eating cereal one time. They were milk and everything.
It's just as bad.
That
would have been the one to do.
That would have been fantastic. I didn't think of that at the time. That was the best. I used to work with a guy, and he had a portable DVD player up on his dashboard here, and he would watch shows. And he would tell this to me. I remember he watched Charmed. He loved Charmed. And he bought every season, and he would watch the show. And he'd tell me about what episodes he watched on his way into work. He had a long ride to work, but still. So I got behind him one time, right? And he would put the earbuds in, so that's all he heard. He didn't hear anything that was going around him. And no lie, he's driving, but he's watching the movie the whole time. Every now and then he'd look, and he would go back. I don't know how he never rammed somebody, but he would literally, I mean, he was going and just driving, look, drive. And I said, dude, you really watched the show? He's like, yeah. I said, don't you want to keep your eye on that? I'm fine.
It's not you we're worried about. Yeah. It's like the people you're going to crash into, man.
And I know to a fact to this day he's still alive.
Jesus.
I don't know how.
That's unbelievable.
I don't know how.
I don't know, man. That's the thing. That's always been my problem. It's like with that, you know, fucking around and shit while you're driving. It's like you're not thinking about the other people that are around you, man. Like these people are trying to go home. You know, we got kids, we got family. Yeah. You know, we're just trying to get to our fucking house, man.
And their day.
That's all.
They worked all day.
Like I'm not concerned with cutting you off or being cut off or any of that shit. I just want to get home without being in a fucking car wreck. You know.
Yeah, it aggravates you because you get so furious you want to do something, but what are you going to do? Run into them? You can't give anyone the finger anymore, even. They shoot you in the face.
They'll blow your finger off, you know? Yeah, I don't know. That's it. You know, just... I don't get it.
Speaking about body parts coming off. Did you see this thing about the rapper?
The rapper? No.
This rapper, Andre Johnson, he goes by the rap name of Christ Bearer. His band is called North Star, and they do a lot of stuff with the Wu-Tang Clan, supposedly.
Okay.
Yesterday, out of the blue, they're hanging out, he cuts off his dick and jumps off the second floor balcony. Just takes it out, cuts it off, and jumps off the second floor balcony. And he was with his other people in his band. They all live in the same apartment building. They're with him, and they said, like, they freak out, so they go and they run outside. And they said by the time he got outside, he was only second floor, I guess he had died. They said he's screaming and running around in pain. He's just like running around in circles and screaming. And they don't know why. Let's see where he was screaming and running around. They said he didn't do hard drugs. Like, he didn't do any drug that would make you do that. They said no hard drugs. I'm sure, you know, probably smoked some weed or whatever, you know, and drank. But they were like, no, it definitely wasn't that. You know, you can test them. But they said we were surprised as well. We're hanging out, and he just has got to go. See ya, and jumps. Why do that first? Jeez. If you're gonna jump, why put yourself through that first?
Yeah.
You know, if that was your thing, you just wanted to cut it off, and hey, now I don't have a dick. But he apparently wanted to die. I mean, I don't know. Who knows what he wanted to do when you're doing that stuff? And you would think you'd jump off of something higher than a second floor balcony.
Yeah, that's fucking bizarre, man.
But
Jesus.
They said 24 hours before this happened, one of his new videos was released, his music videos. So I don't know if he was like really pissed off about the video. It could be, yeah. Maybe stress got to him. But they don't have any clue. He's in the hospital now, and I don't know if they're able to reattach it or how he cut it off even. I don't know if he mutilated it. Like, they didn't say how he cut it off. Yeah. But, yeah, man, he cut off his dick and jumped.
Jesus.
And then today, the Wu-Tang Clan puts on their website, don't believe the hype, he has nothing to do with our band. They're denying even, like, this guy ever worked with them. Yeah. We don't associate with crazy. But, like, the proof is out there. He's in this band. The band's don't work with them. But maybe their point was he's not in our band, so don't make any Wu-Tang dick jokes. You know? But, yeah, man, you talk about crazy. That's one thing I would never do. I don't care. I mean, you have people that are, like, on these drugs, and they cut off their dicks because they think it's a demon, or, you know, the devil's telling them to do it. Well, there's things like that.
There's that one dude. Did you see that? Like, he, I guess he smoked weed or something, and, like, you know,
he shot his wife?
Yeah.
This guy? Yeah.
Like, the chick called, 911, and while she was on the phone, he, like, shot her. Well, he said the end of the world was coming.
For almost 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And then they said they just hear this piercing scream and a gunshot.
Yeah.
And that was the end of that. And he said from smoking weed. No, man, there was something else.
Yeah, that's why it's got to be. That had to be like that formaldehyde weed or fucking bath salt weed or something.
Yeah, you don't talk about the end of the world happening and shoot your wife.
No, not everyone.
Weed.
Shit like that. That was insane.
But I just found out about that too, the formaldehyde thing.
Yeah.
They call them dippers.
Okay.
They get joints and they dip them in not formaldehyde, embalming fluid.
Yeah.
And they dip them in there and dry it and they smoke that and they trip the balls off.
Mm-hmm.
Out of your mind.
Mm-hmm.
I'll call it. I'm not even going to smoke nutmeg.
Yeah.
Let alone embalming fluid. You out of your mind?
Yeah. People just need to calm the hell down.
But even if it did, if I smoked this stuff and my dick turned into the demon of all demons,
I'm
not cutting it off. No, you're cool, demon.
So you say that now in this state.
Oh yeah,
but,
true. True.
Who knows, man? Who knows? People just.
But yeah, I want to follow up with this. I want to find out what went on with this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Just out of the blue.
Yeah.
Cut your dick off. God.
Yeah, that's strange. What are you doing? Why don't you use a turn signal?
Yeah, hey, turn signal.
Goddamn asshole.
You and your Sunoco sticker.
No, she didn't have a Sunoco sticker. She didn't have anything. She's just better than everybody else.
Bad outlook on life.
Don't look at me all angry. I see you.
Is she? Yeah? Where's she at?
She's right behind us.
Oh, was she right behind us?
Yeah.
I thought it was a different car. Don't make me flip this mirror down, lady, and give you a look back.
What her problem is.
She obviously has a bunch
We're all upset by being stuck in traffic, but... Oh, there's your turn signal now. It's amazing. I didn't think they put it on that model.
Maybe she's not used to it. Maybe it's not her car.
Yeah.
She had the wrong key.
Right. She just got in a vehicle and, you know.
Wow. So you're worked up a little bit now, right?
Sure.
This girl's got you a little frazzled. You got to go to Boise, Idaho.
Oh, no, thank you.
Come on, man. This is a place another place we need to do a show from.
All right,
it's called Das Break Room.
Das Break Room?
Das Break Room. What it is recreational destruction. You can go in and they have set prices for you to go in and break shit. You go in a room and you just smash it. You can throw it, smash it with a hammer, do whatever. They have stuff. They have dishes, vacuum cleaners, copiers, fax machines, printers, monitors, like just all kinds of shit for you to break. It's a specially designed break room, I guess, apparently. They have $3 happy hour. $3 you can just smash shit. Worth the trip right there.
Do they charge you by the shit, or you can just...
Well, they have... It's priced per stuff. I don't know what you get for the $3. I didn't say what the happy hour consists of. But they do have prices on a case-by-case basis. You can go in there and be like, I want to fucking destroy this, or so many things, or whatever.
Yeah, but do you have to like wear hard hats and safety goggles and that kind of shit?
Probably, I'm guessing.
See, that sucks balls. Like, no.
I guess really for the price... Well, I guess the benefit is you don't got to clean it up. So I'm thinking we could go to the dollar store and buy a bunch of dishes.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We got to open one of these around here.
You know, Goodwill, get a bunch of stuff for, monitors for $2 a piece. And you smash it. But if we did it, we'd have to clean every fucking piece up, Yeah,
it's fine. You put like a little channel thing around the outside of the room. You have a chute that just goes down into a garbage bin.
Yeah.
You're set.
You'd have to pre-set up an area to do that. Because you saw what a pain in the ass it was cleaning up a wine glass.
Yeah.
This shattered. You didn't even get any kind of like frustration out with that.
Yeah, no. I was just upset that I didn't get to drink any more wine.
But yeah, so there you go.
The break room, huh?
The break room.
It's a good name.
Yeah.
I like that.
Das Break Room. I have to know the Das, like Germans like to really smash shit.
Well, they should have gone. Well, they shouldn't have gone like half German. They should have gone all German.
Like whatever break room is in German. So yeah, let me know if you want to do a show from there.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
Yeah, it might be. I'm not. We need one closer to home. I don't want to drive all the way to Boise.
Road trip it.
Fuck am I gonna get there? What do they have? Potatoes there?
There can't be much there.
Potatoes.
There can't be much there. We'll have to look into that. What is there to do in Idaho?
There's got to be a ton of shit, man. It's just like here. There's stuff to do.
They have movie theaters too.
Yeah. Everybody's got the same
They have
stuff.
McDonald's.
You move somewhere, you think it's all exciting for the
just
first
not as much
4 months.
You know?
Yeah, it's just more spread out.
Mm-hmm. You can live far away from that stuff.
Oh yeah.
When I was around here, it's hard to.
You don't live far from anything here. I mean, it's.
I mean, the northernmost person in the state doesn't live far from the southernmost person in the state.
Ain't this place just a geographical oddity? 20 minutes from everywhere.
Here's another good one real fast. South Carolina man was a construction worker, and he was working at a VA medical center doing something.
Yeah.
Went into their little cafeteria, got a soda, went up, refilled his soda, went to walk away. So a man comes up to him, and the security guard says, "Oh, hey, are you going to pay for that?" He's like, "Oh, it's a refill." And they're like, "Yeah, we got to pay for it." He said, "There's signs everywhere, so you have to pay for your refills. 89 cents. He's like, "Oh," he's like, I haven't been. He said, "I've been working here for a while. I've never paid for a refill." And he said, "Oh, really?" Call the cops. Cops charge him with theft of government property because it was at a VA hospital. Theft of government property for an 89-cent refill, and he admittedly did it multiple times. He got a $525 ticket for shoplifting and was told he can no longer work on that site. So hopefully his job will just put him somewhere else.
It's ridiculous.
He said he can't believe 89 cents cost him $525. That's just stupid.
That is.
Government property, my ass.
They're looking for every dime.
All right, well, that'll do it for this episode of The Commute. Check us out, our Facebook page. Definitely like it, The Commute. You can follow us on Twitter, @DriverPassenger. Check out our website, tocommute.com, TWOcommute.com. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Commute Podcast, or send us an email at thecommutepodcast@comcast.net. Hope to hear from you.
Yep.